Now at 9, preparations are underway for this year's Ironman. What to expect for race day?
The accidentally released inmate from Indianapolis, Cap, turned over 500 miles away in the same state, was accused in "we haven't" local reaction.
The second Republican presidential debate was held last night. Hear what the 7 candidates had to say.
Plus, find out why President Joe Biden spoke in Arizona today.
Big warm-up ahead. I'll have the full details coming up.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening and thanks for being with us. I'm Gavin Smith.
And I'm Anna Drake.
We begin tonight with the 7 presidential candidates that faced off last night for the second Republican presidential debate. Mike Valerio has the highlights.
As 7 GOP presidential hopefuls took the stage at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library Wednesday night, the party's frontrunner was once again absent.
Donald Trump is missing in action.
He put $7 trillion on the debt. He should be in this room to answer those questions for the people you talk about who are suffering.
With a smaller stage, down 1 from their last debate, the candidates fought to break through.
Gentlemen, you'll have your turn.
One of the challenges we should have
please focus on the issues that matter.
The man at the center lectern, Ron DeSantis, went into the night with a lot to prove. Once considered the party's best hope of dethroning former President Donald Trump, the Florida governor has lost ground in recent polls.
As commander-in-chief, I'm going to use the U.S. military to go after the Mexican drug cartels. They are killing our people.
After memorably clashing with several rivals in Milwaukee, entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy said his goal this time around was to stress his policies and positions.
Unlock American energy. Drill, frack, burn coal, embrace nuclear energy, put people back to work.
And former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley looked to build on the momentum her campaign received from the previous debate.
We need to make sure we put 25,000 more Border Patrol and ICE agents on the ground and let them do their job.
As for the former president, Donald Trump once again skipped the evening, opting to hold an event in Detroit amid the ongoing auto workers strike.
I've risked it all to defend working class from the corrupt political class that has spent decades sucking the life, wealth, and blood out of this country.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio.
The Committee on Oversight and Accountability will come to order.
No smoking gun, no evidence. That's what House Democrats said in the first hearing of an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. Republicans have tried to tie Biden to his son Hunter's foreign business dealings. Despite not revealing any evidence, they're trying to lay the groundwork for their probe, saying the investigation will span the time from Biden's vice presidency to the present. While some Republicans remain skeptical about the probe, others argue launching the inquiry will get them to access the documents that reveal the president's alleged misconduct.
Today, President Joe Biden addressed the ongoing threats to U.S. democracy. He gave a speech in Tempe, Arizona, as he sharpens his attacks on Donald Trump. Biden has accused the Republican frontrunner of trying to destroy American institutions. The location was chosen as a way to honor the late Republican Senator John McCain, who was a close friend of Biden's for decades. But Arizona was also a center of Trump's unsuccessful efforts to overturn the 2020 election results.
Residents in St. Paul, Minnesota are shaken after the accidentally released inmate from Indianapolis was captured in their town yesterday afternoon. Mason was taken into custody in South St. Paul by U.S. Marshals without incident. Officials say surveillance footage led them to an apartment on Cement Avenue where they picked him up back in the state where Mason is accused of shootings and killing Dontavius Catchings at a funeral in 2021. Locals are calling it a story they will never forget.
I knew something must be going on, but you don't think that.
New claims for jobless benefits remain low as the overall job market remains strong. The Department of Labor reported today initial claims for unemployment insurance last week were 204,000. That's up 2,000 claims from the previous week's revised total, which was the lowest level since late January. Meanwhile, U.S. consumer spending was much weaker in the second quarter than previously estimated. Consumer spending was down from 1.7% rate to a 0.8% annualized rate. And let's hear some more about weather, Noah.
So yeah, guys, it was a beautiful day outside, especially if you went outside. It felt beautiful fall-like weather for our region here. Current temperatures around the region backing down into those upper to mid 60s, 65 here in Muncie, 67 in Indianapolis. Really going to be kind of a cold, chilly night, especially if you're going out in there. You might want to grab a jacket if you're wanting to head out anywhere late tonight. But while today was beautiful, yesterday definitely was not. We had a ton of rain here, but we honestly needed it to prevent further drought conditions from moving into the region. You see, almost all of our major cities here in the NLI viewing area received over an inch of rain here, which may have led to a washout yesterday, but obviously felt amazing today when you went outside and it was only in the 70s. Really was a beautiful fall day. But what we're tracking tonight here, fog, especially early Friday morning. Really want to watch out if you're headed anywhere. Clearing skies ahead and then warming up next week. I'll have all this and more coming up in my full forecast later in the show.
Muncie is about to be a little busier this weekend.
The 2023 Muncie Ironman Triathlon is set for Saturday. And for years, it's been brought in hundreds of spectators and athletes from around the globe.
The race will take place at the Prairie Creek Reservoir and surrounding area. Athletes will participate in a bike, run, and swim portion of the race. Officials are urging commuters to plan accordingly, as traffic closures will be present. They're also telling residents to keep pets away from the course. For more information on the Muncie Ironman and how traffic could impact your commute, just go to ballstatedaily.com.
After the break, see what Delta Airlines passengers have to say about the new loyalty program.
And some changes in the English dictionary, what new words and acronyms you can expect to see.
I love you!
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas?
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back. United Airlines says it is making an effort to improve the travel experiences for passengers with disabilities. It starts with a new online tool for customers with wheelchairs. The airline says disabled passengers can enter the dimensions of their chairs into the system. Then the search engine will prioritize planes with big enough cargo doors. United says customers can get reimbursed if they are forced into a pricier flight. The airline says it plans to roll out the changes early next year. United says it's also exploring how to better help if wheelchairs are damaged or delayed.
Delta Airlines has heard the outcry over changes to its loyalty program and lounge access policy. The CEO, Ed Bastian, says the company will be modifying the overhaul. Earlier this month, Delta put new limits to Sky Club access for some American Express card holders. It also changed the airline awards elite status for frequent flyers. Delta had said it was trying to serve all loyalty tiers at the level that is expected, but Bastian admitted the company probably went too far with its changes to the SkyMiles program. He said modifications should be released in the next few weeks. The changes already announced and coming, the modifications are set to go into effect 2025.
Meta is launching the new Quest 3 headset as it continues to go all in on virtual reality despite the technology not being widely popular among consumers. With the new version, Meta says you can play a virtual piano on your real-life coffee table, mixing reality experiences with virtual ones. CEO Mark Zuckerberg unveiled the headset at the company's virtual Meta Connect event Wednesday. The new headset has a sleeker, more comfortable design. It's about 40% slimmer than the previous two as well. Customers interested in buying can pre-order it now before it hits stores October 10th. Girl Scout cookies across the country are learning a real-life lesson in inflation. A number of councils are increasing cookie prices to cover rising costs. Girl Scouts of the USA says prices vary because local councils set them. Classics like Thin Mints will now cost $6 in some areas. That matches the price of varieties like s'mores and toffee-tastics. The new Raspberry Rallies are recent proof boxes can be worth a lot to buyers. They sold out rapidly and they went on eBay for several times the initial rate.
And along with new cookies, new words are being created, according to Merriam-Webster. The dictionary released its list of words that made it to the dictionary this year. 690 new words, acronyms, and definitions have been added to the pages of the book. And yes, bussin' is one of them. The slang word is an adjective meaning extremely good or excellent. On the list, chef's kiss, grammable, generative IA, thirst trap, forever chemical, and girl boss.
A big warm-up as we head into the first few days of October. I'll let you know just how warm we get coming up after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other.
On a deeper level.
Father,
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
it's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward. Come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back. If you haven't set your alarm yet, the last supermoon of the year will peak around 6 a.m. tomorrow. It'll be closer to the Earth than usual and will seem bigger and brighter. This version is called the Harvest Moon as a nod to the fall season. Other names include Corn Marker Moon, Moon of Brown Leaves, or Autumn Moon. The terms are different south of the equator as well, since it's springtime there. Obviously, some interesting stuff going on tomorrow morning. What do you think? Maybe looking at the moon?
I think I'll try to get up to see that, yeah.
Awesome. Speaking of the moon, let's toss it over to Noah with weather.
Yeah, guys, harvest moon was really one way to describe the weather outside today. It was beautiful, typical fall weather outside. Looking around at our current temperatures throughout the region here, 65 currently in Muncie, 67 in Indianapolis. You can see things really cooling down to be a pretty cold night, all things considered, for this time of year throughout the region here. And while it's been really cold, today was pretty much above or pretty much near average for this time of year here. It's 74, the average high for this part of September. Today's high of 72, right around where we should be for the last few days of September here. But over the next few hours here, we see that temperature backing down really not that much into the upper 50s, 59 here in the sort of the dead of the evening, and then crawling all back up into the low 60s by the time we get towards the morning hours here. But with those morning hours here, we're expecting a whole lot of fog to develop, especially in those early AM hours. So tonight, if you're headed out anywhere, the low in the mid 50s, winds out of the northwest at 5 miles an hour, fog expected to develop late. Overall going to be a cloudy and cold night. Now, with that fog we're expecting, the National Weather Service has put out the dense fog advisory for most of the central Indiana counties that cover our region from 5 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, what this means is reduced visibility, going to be definitely a problem if you're headed out anywhere in the country, those low-lying areas. So just want to take it slow tomorrow. Make sure you leave some distance between you and the car in front of you, and obviously always watch out for those kids headed off to school tomorrow morning, as this fog will be pretty prevalent until the sun burns it off tomorrow. But by tomorrow afternoon and into the evening, those clouds really burn off, and we see temperatures jump up into the upper 60s and low 70s here. At noon, still some 50-50 clouds around the region, but by 5 o'clock, up into the mid 70s with abundant sunshine, and it's going to feel amazing outside. And we really should honestly enjoy this wonderful fall weather while we have it, because if we look at the 6-day temperature outlook here, we see our below average across the western United States, but if we look here above average across our part of the region, and especially across the eastern seaboard, so really warm weather expected as we head into October. So while a lot of us may be hoping for that cool weather, I personally am going to just stick to iced coffee, or maybe something a little bit cooler out there, maybe something chilly out there, especially with the weather we're going to see next week. So our 7-day, really looking quite nice, especially if you're headed out Saturday for that Ironman run at Prairie Creek Reservoir. Going to be a beautiful day if you're headed out biking, hiking, jogging, doing all sorts of things out there. Going to be a beautiful weekend that's really not too bad to enjoy. 80 on Sunday. Might want to enjoy that 80 while it lasts, because temperatures are really shooting up by the time we head further into the week. 83 on Monday, up into the mid 80s, really, really warm, 10 to 15 degrees warmer than average by the time we get towards the middle of the weekend, Tuesday and Wednesday. So while it's going to feel like October, or while it's going to be October, it is certainly not going to feel like fall.
Absolutely. Obviously going to have to watch out for that fog tomorrow morning. Going to have a little bit of low visibility. Thank you so much, Noah, for weather. Any plans for the weekend, actually, while I'm thinking of it?
I was excited to just see how the Ironman goes. I think it's going to be great weather for that event.
Wonderful weather if you head out, especially some of those tough events there they have.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you, Noah. Let's go ahead and hand it over to sports with Xander now.
One high school star looks to keep it within the crossbars, and another Ball State club hits the mat hard. All this next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it?
Is this... What is that?
Seriously. Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Xander Woods with sports. Ball State women's soccer goes to battle again today against Toledo Rockets at home. After a win last week over Miami of Ohio, the 3-5-1 Cardinals look to continue their momentum. Ball State slow out of the gate on offense with a scoreless first 45 minutes. But after an extensive talk from coach at halftime, the Cardinals offense turns up the heat. 4 minutes into the second half, a strike from Delaney Caldwell puts the Cards up 1-0. Moments later, Avery Finchel takes another one to the board with their 6th of the season. Even after a score from the Rockets, the Cards prevail and move to 2-0 in MAC play this season, in a 2-1 final. Head coach Josh Reif looks ahead to their next matchup as the Cards look on to take on Western Michigan.
Even coming into conference, they're probably one of the toughest teams when you're looking at just results that they're getting and wins. So, I mean, I think they're going to be a tough team. They're going to be physical. They're going to be well organized. Lewis does a great job with them.
Ball State looks to keep the win streak alive this Sunday at 1 p.m. in Kalamazoo. Keeping it on the field, we head 20 minutes off campus to Delta High School to highlight a high-flying Eagle. NewsLink Indiana's Bryce Dimsevich made the trip to catch up with the squad.
A team hard at work. Delta Boys Soccer's regular season comes to a close as tournament time awaits the Eagles. However, for star senior Braden Stanley, being the first player in Delta history to have consecutive seasons with 20-plus goals and 10-plus assists is on the forefront of his mind.
That'd be awesome. I mean, coming into my high school season, my brother played, and he set the previous record, so I was striving for that, and then this will just put a little icing on the cake.
And there is nothing sweeter for head coach Tony Pierce than to have a player of Stanley's caliber on the team sheet each week.
It is huge just to have, like he said, his brother was a fantastic player here, and just to see him come through and have the success that he's had, and to see him break his brother's record last year, and possibly have a chance to get close to it this year. That's just the work that he puts in. It's unmatched in our team, really.
But a quad injury has kept him out for the past 3 weeks, and he has been dearly missed.
The speed that he plays at is it's just the next level. So we do miss that. The game is a little slower when he's not here. So we're really looking forward to adding that dimension back to the game when he's able to get back with us.
With Stanley's return looming in sectionals around the corner, his eye is on the prize.
I want to win. That's plain and simple. I mean, we got to get the first round. We'll take it game by game, but we should win.
High school doesn't last forever, and Stanley has high hopes for his future.
My goal is to play soccer in college. We'll see how that goes. We'll see where that takes me, but that's my goal.
Stanley and the Eagles take on Mississinawa in the first round of sectionals next Tuesday at 7 p.m. In Muncie, Bryce Dimsevich, NewsLink, Indiana.
To take us down to the mat, while most club sports here at Ball State compete against each other, one just does it for the love of the match. NewsLink Indiana's Reese Chapman tells us more.
Some come to learn new techniques, others to find different and new ways to stay active, but everyone comes to have fun and wrestle with the Ball State Wrestling Club. Coached by Ball State sophomore Kane Maharaj, he dedicates his club to the safety of his fellow wrestlers and to promoting health and fitness across Ball State's campus.
I go around, we have a span of new people and experienced people. What I do is that I go around, I make sure people get their heart rate up, a lot of the guys come out, or a lot of the guys and girls come out to get in shape. Some come out just to learn basic techniques. Some people just want to learn how to defend themselves.
Some club leaders look toward the future of the club with high expectations and a goal of competition.
I would like to see it get kind of sanctioned, and then us be able to compete a little bit more. I know that we're trying to compete, but all the competition that we have is within that room.
With 2 practices a week, there's plenty to do with the variety of drills and more.
So practices are really just, you go through different drills, you learn different moves, and then every once in a while we'll get some live wrestling in where it's just, you treat it like a real match, but it's not.
For students looking for more information on how to get involved, head to the Ball State Benny Link Club wrestling page. In Muncie, Reese Chapman, NewsLink, Indiana.
From the mat to the court, the Muncie Birds Owls have been a volleyball powerhouse since the 1980s and are atop the rankings once again in 2023. The newest Coaches Association poll has Burris ranked #1 in Class 2A with an impressive 2022 in record this season, led by head coach Jim Craig. The Owls have posted their best record since their undefeated state championship run in 2010. Craig, a Delaware County Athletic Hall of Famer and veteran coach, chooses to back out the noise and let his teams play do the talking.
The kids that are here, they anticipate that there's going to be some expectation when they come in here, but we don't really talk about rankings. We don't talk about much of anything other than what we're doing personally to get better so we can collectively be better.
The Owls are set to take on Muncie Central on Tuesday, a week before the state tournament begins on October 10th.
Wow, some cool opportunities here from Ball State to local Muncie schools and clubs. So cool to see all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we'll have some more campus coverage for you after the break.
Along with your final look at weather.
I love you!
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Here's a look at one campus event aimed to help members of the Muncie Mission. The Honors Association for Community Engagement, or HACE, sets out to create care packages for the Muncie community. They met up at Honors College building to put together packages with things like deodorant, toothpaste, shaving cream, and topped with a kind note to encourage Muncie on their journey.
And through this, we thought they were not only creating community with each other, but within the Honors College and within the Muncie community.
This is the first of many events that HACE is putting on. You can follow their Instagram at Ball State Honors for more updates on future dates for the semester.
Awesome.
And
Cool
it's
stuff there.
they had
Yeah.
great weather for that. It was an amazing event to see.
Absolutely.
So let's hear some more about weather, Noah.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, fall and October, typically a time for spooks and scares, but the only thing scary about this forecast is just how warm it's going to be next week. Going to feel typically like August and late July with these upper 80s and mid 80s temperatures. Want to note though, fog tomorrow morning, dense fog advisory until 10 a.m. Something you want to watch out if you're headed out anywhere. But yeah, this forecast is just really warm, abnormally so for this time of year, and it's really something we don't want to see, especially as we're headed into this harvest season. It's a time of cornfields, of apple bopping, and it's just not a time we want to see these summer-like temperatures.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Noah, with the weather. That's all for tonight at NewsLink Indiana. Join us again tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for our morning show, streaming live on the Waking Up with Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.